All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants with your week 15 film review. I got to get used to like how many games left with the 17 game schedule. I know I should be used to it by now. This is the fourth year of it, but I still can't get used to it. This game stunk. We're going to go through some of the DeVito stuff in the first half, looking at third down, and some of the, I'll be honest, the Boyle, some of the anticipation throws and ballsy throws he made were kind of shocking. Like, I can't believe this is the guy that, is making these types of throws. I don't think it's going to carry over because at the end of the day, they're playing some basic zones, but there's even some disguises that he took care of. But I'd much rather be making this content. Remember in 2022 when the films reviews did really good? Wow. Maybe if the Giants were good, this is the type of fun stuff we'd be able to do and have lots of views. All right, let's get into it. First play, 3rd and 2 for the Giants. We're in empty. They're going to run a rub for Tyrone Tracy up top. And not much to break down on the throw. It's just an overthrow. But 3rd down and 2, the Giants, what do? They get into empty, right? 5 wide. They like to run, like you've seen in these film reviews, shock, right? A little hitch here with the running back, slot fade here, and then the choice juke route where Malik Nabers is. They line up all these guys in different positions. They'll put Malik Nabers in the slot here, which you'll see later. Most of the time, Wan'Dale Robinson will line up here for the juke route, but part of what Brian Dable does is we can put different guys in different spots and run the same plays. But the Giants run a tendency changer off of that, right? See how the Ravens are in man coverage, right? They got a 5-man front here. The Ravens are in man coverage, but they drop the ends, right? They drop the ends because they're looking for the juke route by Malik Nabers. So they want to take away the inside part of that. And then you have man coverage over here. The slot fade, when it's Daniel Bellinger, you're never going to really throw that, even though you're supposed to throw the slot fade against man coverage. But if it's Bellinger, you're not really going to throw that, right? So, but they still have to cover it. So you use this looking like a slot fade like Daniel Bellinger, turn it into an out route, try and create a rub here, and it works, man. You force this corner to go over the top on it. You get a slant. You got Nabers clearing out space here, and it just gets overthrown on what should have been an easy pitch and catch first down. Instead, you're punting, going 3 and out on the first drive of the game. Again, I want to show you some things of the Giants. They did hold Derrick Henry in check somewhat. Their rushing defense has gotten a lot better since Dexter Lawrence went out, which is kind of funny. But they're also putting a lot more of an emphasis on stopping the run. You didn't see any of these run blitzes with Dexter Lawrence in there. So let's look at this run blitz. They're going to run counter. They're pulling the center and the tackle. And this run blitz works. We'll start with Jordan Riley, right? So Jordan Riley is jumping from the front side A to the back side A gap. And because he's doing that, like the center, what the Ravens are reading on this is if you don't have your backside gap covered between the center and the guard, that's who's pulling. And they have an athletic center in Tyler Linderbaum, so they like to get him out in space and pull. So this gap is free. So that means Tyler Linderbaum is going to pull, and then 77 Falele, he's going to hinge and block this backside 94, and then the front side guard is going to down block on Jordan Riley, right? So that's their read on this, and then the backside tackle is pulling no matter what. So when they do that and Jordan Riley steps down into this gap, well, this guard's not making that block, right? This guard's not making that block, but the center's out of there. And guess what Jordan Riley just did? He stopped the lead blocker. The lead blocker is now eliminated because of Jordan Riley. And then Brian Burns, he's jumping inside, but the tackle's down blocking. So he jumps inside and spills inside of the kick out, right? So now the lead blocker's gone. The kick out has been spilled, so that's going to force Derrick Henry outside, right? But who's got the outside? McFadden fills inside of the tight end. And then we blitz our corner off the edge. Nowhere to go. Like a well-executed run blitz that the Giants, again, didn't really run a lot at all this year. as they've realized that their run defense is going to be really bad without Dexter Lawrence, they have adapted. Shane Bowen, I will give him credit, has adapted his run defense, missing that personnel. Back on offense, 3rd and 4. Ravens, again, they're showing pressure, right? We got the mugged up linebackers. And we're going to run a sim pressure. Right, we're gonna back out both linebackers. We're going to blitz the nickel corner. And we're going to back this out into cover 2. Right? 2 deep, and then we got 5 underneath. Going to back this out into cover 2. So the nickel blitzes through here, and we'll talk about the protection. Now, I think one of Malik Nabers or Wan'Dale Robinson ran the wrong route. I would venture to say it's probably Malik Nabers. I think Malik Nabers is either supposed to run an out route or vertical, but I don't think he's supposed to run vertical because Slayton runs the vertical. But maybe that's part of this. But regardless, and I think that's what maybe confuses Tommy a little bit, but at the same time, you still have to make this throw because the read is supposed to go to Wan'Dale Robinson. Like, you see these linebackers, read their leverage. This linebacker is taking care of this middle of the field. This one taking care of the curl hook zone, and he's running out here. Wan'Dale's going to sit in this zone. Throw it. Throw this ball. Throw this ball. Instead, Tommy scrambles and throws away, and then you're punting. You know, and you did a really, like, let's look at it. Like, and this is, I think, the problem with Tommy Villa, man. He just does. You can't run quick game with him because he doesn't trust it. I feel like he lives in fear of throwing a pick 6 on this quick game stuff. When in reality, you got to be a big boy and just pull the trigger. Pull the trigger and let's convert. Now, again, maybe Malik Nabers being behind him confuses him, but still, you got to pull the trigger. And this is that pop-out protection that we had talked about on these film reviews, and I think I did on the O-line report. Right, so you have the mugged-up look for the linebackers. But again, like most teams, they like to back out the linebackers. So what you don't want is you don't want your center or guard blocking nobody. So what the Giants do is when the linebackers pop out and JMS is going to see a blitz from the corner, what is he going to do? He's going to pop out, take on the corner, and he does a good job of that. The issue has been, though, this guard getting beat, and let's just say that this end rushes, right? Instead of dropping Van Noy out here. Let's just say this end rushes and end up sending 5, and it's a fire zone and not a simulated pressure. So Neal is out here. Greg Van Roten is here. Well, then this defensive tackle is getting in for the sack. And that's why I just don't like that pop-out pressure or that pop-out protection. I really don't like it. Almost good catch. Let's break this down. Oh, man, dude, you had it. Pass breakup by this guy. Really messed that up, man. He knew he had it, too. This is the Ravens' first touchdown. Or, no, this is the sack by Brian Burns over here. Ravens run play action. I don't know why Lamar didn't pull the trigger here to Mark Andrews. Stroman, man. Greg Stroman. Play action. If you're Zach Robinson watching the film and you're knowing that this guy's going to start, I'm running play action, and I know the Falcons can't run play action with Kirk Cousins. Maybe we'll get Michael Penix. I mean, we're getting sucked up, and I'm not even sure if this is zone or man. I think it's man, right? Like they motion 4 inside. It looks like man, and then Mark Andrews is wide open, right? If this was, Pinnock is reading this, and then Mark Andrews is open. Because I think Stroman just gets lost in the sauce of the run. He's manned up on Andrews, and he's wide open. But good job by Brian Burns by on this play action jumping inside of it, right? You see this offensive tackle jump setting you, right? Ronnie Stanley's a big dude. He's got to get out there quick, right? He's vulnerable when he's going to quick set you. Wham! Work inside. Chapman occupies the left guard. And Burns finishes a sack, and you're like, oh, shit. Giants are not going to let them score a touchdown. Wrong. Isaiah Simmons is going to give up a touchdown on two-man because he's not focused. All right, so let's go through this. This is 3rd and goal at the 13. Giants are in two-man, right? You got the two safeties, and then we're in man coverage. Ravens looks like a pick, a rub by Andrews to get Isaiah Likely open on the drag. All right, so Andrews turns his shoulders outside. Like, oh, we want to get Art Green caught up in this, right? We want to hit the shallow with Isaiah Likely, even though this safety, he's there for that. So Isaiah Simmons gets lulled to sleep on this. And it's not even like a true stick and nod by Andrews, but just gets behind him. And then, I guess gets a little tripped up here too, slowing down. I mean, and we get a touchdown in between 3 players. I mean, let's watch it from this angle. I mean, this should be a stop. You can't get lulled to sleep like this on 3rd down. This is not your responsibility. Don't even look at it. That's what the safety. That's why you're in two-man. It's for this. And Lamar throws it past your ear. Back on offense. 3rd and 6. This ends up being a 5-yard pass up with the Giants in 4th and 1 for that QB sneak they didn't get. So I'm a little torn on exactly what my take is on this play. So the Giants are going to run double slant here with Wandale and Darius Slayton in the 3rd and 5. And they're going to get it versus man coverage. The issue is this is completed. And versus man coverage, you're supposed to read inside out. Right? Just 1, 2. Like that's the progression. 1, 2. But you've got to see, like, man, they're rolling Hamilton down. Right? And you get man coverage on this. Right? You get man coverage on this. This means that this nickel defender, there's no inside presence here. Right? You have off coverage pre-snap with Darius Slayton. And when this corner chases, you have no help inside here. And then the Ravens like to roll Hamilton down into this robber roll to, shut this play down. Like, this is it. Like, make this throw to Slayton. Now, again, I know what he's probably reading is, hey, man coverage inside out. Inside out. But this should have been a 1st down. Right? Obviously, Slayton's route on the outside is going to be a little more longer developing. But it's just kind of like how limited they are right now with some of this stuff. Next play, you'll see it from here. Hamilton's, bam. I mean, you get Wandale smack, dude. That's a big dude versus a little dude right there. Next play, this is a Ravens touchdown. So Giants are in a 2-high shell. So not 100% sure on this. I believe this is cover 3, where Belton is, if they just ran a straight drop back, that Belton would be covering the flats here, but they play action roll out. There's no presence over here. We're going to just go and cover a man. And this is where Stroman, sorry, not Stroman, Adore. This is on both Adore and Pinnock. My co-host, Justin Pinnock, or Jason Pinnock. With Pinnock, they're running this vertical at you. And this is where Pinnock, it hasn't happened a lot with the Giants, but with the Jets is he lets them take his leverage away too much. And I think that's why the Giants don't like running a lot of like cover 4, cover 2 stuff. It's because of that. But you got the athleticism. You open your hips now. I mean, just that subtle changing the track of the receiver, Bateman there, turning out, we're there. And then Adore, again, they may, I'm not exactly sure what they're teaching on this to take this, but you have Simmons underneath here. Maybe this is what they are, because he is responsible for the deep third sideline. But like you don't want to just give out, quick, out routes all day either. So not exactly sure. I can't tell you with full confidence. And the play action rollout part of this and cutting the field in half changes some of the key ways you could tell what coverage it is. But just wanted to put that on there. Back on offense. Awesome route here by Malik Nabers. Giants are going to run flood, a three-level high to low concept. 1, 2, 3. Just good job versus man coverage. Right, you got Hyatt. That's the clear out. Wan'Dale Robinson on a delayed release in the flat, and then you get this versus man coverage. Malik Nabers challenge vertically, and just that little foot jab right there, right? Little foot jab there. DeVito, again, not the best anticipation on it, but still gets it out there. But just that little foot jab turns this corner around. Wham, that's separation right there. Great catch by Nabers. Nice chunk play versus man coverage. Here, nice design by Brian Dable. We're in pony, 2 running back. We motion Tyrone Tracy in. We're going to make it look like we're throwing a little bubble screen out here. We're going to get a little hole shot in here. So, first we're going to see, right, we got Devin Singletary running out here, and they're blitzing this nickel corner. So you get this against a great defense. Like, this is the defensive call you want this against. So they blitz the nickel corner on this, which reduces their numbers out here where they're truly 3 for 3. And when they do that, the Ravens are like, all right, well, if they throw this bubble out here against this nickel blitz, well, we got to get down and cover this. And what does Daniel Bellinger do? Does he go out and run around? No. He shows this player like he's blocking. Tommy DeVito gives a little shoulder fake. We get this 29 here. And it's kind of like a delayed post wheel where you have Nabers the post on here. They're in cover 3, so you have the deep third corner playing with him. He spins around, and at that point, DeVito puts a nice ball on Bellinger, and you get, a nice 12, 13-yard play. Hey! Grab your favorite team's jersey and some snacks and head to the couch for another Sunday of action-packed football. And you got Saturday, too, with our partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you use code WORLD. Talking Giants versus the world. How about that? You guys know what it is. Stay in on the action and use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. And if sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. Seriously, stop worrying. You got to relax. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. So, download the DraftKings Sports app now. New customers use promo code WORLD, bet just $5 on any wager, and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code WORLD, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. You'll be glad you did. Next play is a sack on 3rd and goal that Tommy DeVito takes that ends up getting the hands to the face, and they run the ball in for a 2-yard touchdown afterwards. But this is where, is this Monday morning quarterbacking by me? Yes. But at the same time, this is the difference between good red zone offense and bad red zone offense. So the Ravens, they're going to be in a goal line cover too, right? You got the deep halves and then five on a line out here. And Bellinger on his sit right here, he's going to be manned up with Roquan Smith. He's just kind of operating, taking up space from Roquan, and then the Ravens are gonna have 3 for 2 up here and 3 for 2 down here, and we're looking to get the ball to Malik Nabers here, is what I would assume. And what you're basically, the read on this is this corner right here, right? If this corner goes with Malik Nabers on this, then Wan'Dale Robinson sits right here. He sits. He probably turns inside. Now, they do a good job of making... But you see how Robinson, he sits, he turns inside, and you throw this ball. So this is the read defender for Tommy. And we just don't get to it, man. Like, I understand this safety's here. He's crashing. And this, again, this corner does a really good job getting physical with Malik Nabers. But let's throw this. Let's throw this. And maybe he's betting on the corner being occupied with Malik Nabers and you throw it to Wan'Dale Robinson. Instead, we don't trust it. We scramble. We take a sack. We get a hands to face. I mean, this is where we're going, you know? You see where his eyes are. And there's just so many times on these quick game stuff with Tommy DeVito, and I don't mean to pile on, but where you see this. See the little hitch where it's like, I kind of want it. I think I know it, but he just doesn't trust it. He just doesn't trust it. And that was the thing I was hoping he'd get better at from year 1 to year 2. Because I think if he got better at that, he'd be a viable backup in the NFL. And we just haven't. And we're still taking all the sacks. On defense, this next play is a touchdown given up. Giants are in cover 3. And they're going to attack the seams in this. So a couple things. Something I noticed in this game is with Darius Muasau. With Andrews, right? Andrews runs some verticals and crossers. A lot of times they'd have Muasau kind of, locate him and work with him in their cover 3 coverage, which was their most used coverage in this game and for the season. So they're going to attack. They're going to attack the seams, right? That's where you attack cover 3, up the seams, because you have a deep third defender, and then your middle third defender with your safety. So you make the safety pick one, right? But here's the issue: is Art Green down here is too occupied with Isaiah Likely. Now, because they have Muasau rolling with Mark Andrews, McFadden can't play a clear flat out here because you can't just leave, the shallow totally unguarded. They'll just check that down and, get Yak down to the 4-yard line or whatever. But Green's got to get his depth, man. Like, you got to see when you see, and again, this is the receiver that he's aligned with. When you see him carry this vertically, you've got to get deep. You've got to get deep because Belton is expecting you out there, right? Belton plays this well, right? He's protecting the inside here. He's protecting the inside. He doesn't overcommit too early, where if Mark Andrews is running a seam where he gives away that. And Lamar just throws this into the corner of the end zone, and there's no presence here. But at the end of the day, I'm fucking breaking down Art Green and his mistakes. That's where the Giants are. Here. All right, so Tim Boyle comes in the game. And, man, there were some freaking plays where I was shocked. Now, this play ended up being called off because of an illegal formation. So, you guys have watched these film reviews. The Giants still get into their play action, right? They'll use a clear out, and they'll run that dagger where you have the clear out from the slot, and then you'll have Malik Nabers break out over the middle. So, the Ravens don't buy this play action at all. Just at all, right? I mean, look at Roquan Smith. Look at Kyle Hamilton. They're not buying it, right? They're in cover 3, and you have your second level. They're sagging. They're sagging at 10 yards of depth, right? So Malik Nabers is trying to sell that he's got the dig route or the dagger, right? He's selling that he's going to come right here, and Hamilton understands that. He plays with inside leverage. He wants to pass this off and run it to Roquan Smith. And Nabers does a great job on this. Watch Nabers get into the blind spot of Kyle Hamilton. Wham! And Tim Boyle puts a ball on him, too. I mean, just a great job to so subtly show the dig, right? Get in Kyle Hamilton's line of vision and then pop this out. And at that time, I mean, let's watch Boyle on this, right? It's coming out. Right? That's not an easy throw, man. That's opposite hash. 30 yards on a line, right? And you got to trust that Hamilton, gets on this. And you have Wandale with the clear out. I mean, let's look at it from this end. Like, this is a nice throw, man. If J.J. McCarthy does this, we're highlighting why he should go 6 overall. Good blitz pickup by Tyrone Tracy. Shout out. Those are things to build on. That's why he went big, huh? But that's a nice throw. Like, I don't think I've seen the Giants quarterback make a throw as nice as that this year. Next play. Dude, here we go again. And maybe this is just, here's the thing, is like, I could be talking about, like, this is great anticipation. He's reading the defense. It could just be him just like, I'm going to throw the ball to Malik Nabers. So this is a disguised look by the Ravens, right? We got all these guys near the line of scrimmage. We have one deep safety, right? So what would you say is going to happen right here? They'll throw some type of blitz. They'll back out. They'll play cover 3. They'll play cover 1. Nope, we're going to run an invert 2. We're going to back out here, the nickel corner. And guess what? Look what we have right here. Cover 2. And it's not even just like your basic invert 2, because you're going to have these two. You're going to have Kyle Hamilton. He's going to take the middle of the field. And then your linebacker is going to take this curl hook zone. And then you obviously have the outside corners are playing your traditional flats. And then the nickel corner is going to roll out into 2. So it's not even like a full invert, because, we're kind of lined up the way a safety would be here. But in the sense where, this looks like some type of single high coverage. We back out. And look at Tim Boyle on this whole shot, this honey shot for Malik Nabers. Look at where the ball is coming out. We're throwing it now, dude. So it's like, maybe he saw that this is an invert too, but I really think what happened is he sees this safety bail immediately, and he's like, oh, I've got an invert too. Like, I got a 2 shell. The whole shot is there, but I got to be quick on it. We pull the trigger on it, dude. Look at the corner, right? He's playing the flats. He's reading Nabers, but he's got to check the flat, Like, he's got to check the flat to make sure Bellinger's not, sitting right here, and just throws it right past his ear. Like, that's some fun fucking football right there by Tim Boyle. Right? 2022, man, even in success, like, the whole shot was like, for the whole shot. Sheesh. Like, that's, again, is it just throwing the ball to Malik Nabers, or is it really reading what it is? Like, I think he read what that is. You're not trying to throw you're not trying to throw that ball if it's a single high, cover 3, cover 1. You're just not. You're not throwing it that way, at least. So good shit by Tim Boyle. Next play. So this is not a bad play design by Brian Dable. This is part of my issue. Mesh has been a thing that we've talked about on this film reviews and the podcast and stuff, but it's not something that they've ran. But what they have ran, not a lot, but more than they've actually ran mesh, is they've run mesh variations and mesh tendency changers without actually putting mesh on film. Like, they have, like, here's your regular mesh. It would be, now, this is not a mesh formation, but usually you're going to take the running back, put them on a rail. They don't do that on this one. They keep them in for protection. You would have, again, this is not a mesh formation because of how spread out they are, but you would either have Dulcich or Wandale sit right here, right? So you're thinking Wandale's going to sit right here, and then you have your mesh here, and then you have this alert out here. So look, the mesh works. You get it versus man coverage. Malik Nabers is wide open, but it's almost like they're throwing these tendency changers where you're betting on this corner thinking that Wandale's going to sit. He pops this out, and you got pressure, so like that's where you're trying to go to. So against the pressure, Boyle's like, all right, I got man coverage. This is the player we're trying to get to. I'm going to throw it his way. When you're going to see, if you just ran your typical mesh on this play, he's throwing the ball to Malik Nabers, right? May get batted down at the line of scrimmage by Roquan Smith. Tracy's like, I'll talk about the protection. But like, man, you had Malik Nabers. Bad ball, incompletion, third down. And then on this, Roquan's so fucking athletic, dude. Because like Tracy is Tyrone Tracy's responsibility. But 98 getting upfield on this, right? 98 getting upfield on JMS. That washes up Tyrone Tracy. But look how just quick Roquan just wham, get flat, bend. He's a freak. One of my favorite players in the league. Not having his best year. Next play on defense. This is that like play action toss leak. I mean, Lamar really had 2 chances at a touchdown on this play. Again, so I think this is part of the emphasis on the run game. Now, I don't give Adore any benefit of the doubt on this because Adore should be looking for shit like this. But like, look at Adore. Like, they're in cover 3. You got to be here, dude. But here's the thing: is Adore is like thinking Pinnock should be taking that. But here, look, the run action gets Stroman. So, like, regardless of Adore, like, you know, that's not on Pinnock. And Sherman just gets caught up on the run action and gives up a touchdown. I mean, like, there's not much more to break down on that. Next play. Again, a nice little hole shot by Tim Boyle. So, again, they got the mugged up linebackers. They're going to run a 3-deep fire zone. And it's not like it's like a post wheel, post out and up. All right, so like let's take a look at the blitz. All right, we got both middle linebackers here, so we got 6 across the line. The Giants have 5 offensive linemen, and then they have the running back and Bellinger, not fully up behind the center, but not playing in the traditional spots. All right, so what the Ravens are going to do, they're going to back out 1 linebacker. They're going to rush 5. They're going to blitz the nickel corner. Right, they're going to take the end and send him inside and try and get the nickel corner. Giants keep in protection. Great job. Keep picking that up by everybody. And so the Giants block it up well, so the Ravens don't have the numbers here. So they're going to run the post with Malik Nabers, right? That's going to occupy Nate Wiggins, or at least hold him there. And, you know, the middle field safety, he's got to bail all the way from this side. So Wiggins has to play this a little more. So you got Wandale on the out and up. And 29 doesn't just turn his hips and run with Wandale. I mean, this is nice anticipation by Tim Boyle. Right? Reading Nate Wiggins, seeing that he's got on Malik Nabers. Because Wiggins rolls off of it. Like, if you hesitate for even a second, because Tim Boyle doesn't have the strongest arm in the world. If you hesitate for a second, this ball is incomplete. Or even intercepted. Like, we're teetering on that line. But this, again, this is a good read by Tim Boyle. We're going to talk about the protection up front. Not the best job by Neal here, but giving Tim Boyle enough time. Like, good job protection-wise with responsibilities. Man, you get it in there. Nice chunk play. Like I said, we're teetering, but good stuff. This was the only play of Tim Boyle's where I really just didn't like it. And I think they're just trying to get the ball to Malik Nabers. This is 4th and goal. And you get like this should be like a basic, easy look for Tim Boyle. And I'm sure he's kicking himself for not having this one. So 4th and goal. And you get man coverage. You get cover 1. Right? So you have man out here with Nabers. Right? Man with Hamilton on the tight end. Man with Wandale. Man with Slayton. And then with the running back, it's these two linebackers. These two linebackers are just going off of what Tracy does. Tracy breaks out. This linebacker takes him. Tracy breaks in. This linebacker plays him. But Tim Boyle should see this, right? And he should be reading. Like, This is like when you know the route calls, and again, Tim Boyle just freaking came in, so I'm not going to be kill him for this. But like, this is not the right spacing to try and get this ball to Malik Nabers here, right? You know, like you have the safety shaded to Nabers, but the reality, we should be reading Roquan Smith, because once Roquan Smith moves this way, we've got all the space in the world for a Wandale Robinson slant here versus man coverage. right? Wan'Dale Robinson sets it up. Maybe takes a little too long on that, but still, this should be a Wan'Dale Robinson touchdown. And instead, we're trying to force feed the ball to Malik Nabers. We scramble, we throw it away. But, like, this is it. As soon as you see that Hamilton's in man with Bellinger and then Roquan moves over here, you should be reading this Mike linebacker. Should be a touchdown, New York Giants. Should have been Tim Boyle's first touchdown as a New York Giant. But that comes later in this film review. Last play we're going to talk about on defense. I don't know what happened here. This is the Justice Hill touchdown. So, once again, a team uses a very basic motion, and you're left with a wide open touchdown. I don't know. So you rush 6. Right? You rush 6 versus this. So if you're rushing 6, the thought would be you have man coverage, right? But we have 2 players out here covering this one. Right here. Pinnock. Are you really going to have Muasau covering the running back from this angle? That's not going to happen. Is this safety and Dane Belton, like, and again, you see the motion happens. I don't know. But you don't want Muasau covering Likely or Andrews, so I don't know if they're trying to bump down their man. And it should have been Belton covering Andrews here. And Pinnock was like, oh, shit, they left on Andrews uncovered. I don't know. Did McFadden, like, I don't know. Even there, you know, Pinnock on that, like, Pinnock looks confused. Andrews runs past him. Justice Hill's wide open. Mark Andrews like, I have a touchdown. And he's like, oh, it's okay because Justice Hill, like, I don't know what the fuck happened. All right, here's the Malik Nabers touchdown. This is, hey, birds on a line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down on the line of scrimmage, 4th down and 5. They're coming at you. You got empty, cover 0, blitz, free rusher, right? What are we running here? We're running shock, right? You've got the outside hitch. You've got the choice. On the backside, it doesn't matter. Run double slant, or you run wrap, and then you have the slot fade. And you get cover 0 on this, which means you have man coverage. You throw the ball slot. You throw the slot fade to Malik Nabers. Let him make a play. Tim Boyle with that pressure throws it up, back shoulder, kind of a punt, and Nabers. I mean, it's simple. This is Eli in the Super Bowl right here to Plaxico. Not the same play, but same pressure, right? They run 0. I mean, puts that ball in the air and lets Malik Nabers make a play. And, hey, he does it, so we're happy. Gets both feet down, touchdown, New York Giants. Malik Nabers' first touchdown since week 3. How about that? He's about to get 1,000 yards. Good on him. And then this last play is the most effort throw I've ever seen. This is first down. Like, they're not going to win the game, obviously. But who does, like, this is where I talk about some of those throws Boyle made. This is like, who does Tim Boyle think he is? Right, and also, why are we calling this play, Daves? Right, like, why, if we're going to have Hyatt on this deep curl on this, why are we having Boyle boot away from it? And I'm sorry. I like you, Tim Boyle. I'm never asking him to make this throw. I don't know what happened. Like, I think maybe Nabers was supposed to sit here. Right? Like, when you see this coverage, like that Nabers was supposed to sit the same way that Hyatt was, and he doesn't. And Boyle just... I mean, this is like... I don't want Josh Allen making this throw. Ravens intercept it. Game over. And the Giants fall to 2-12. And they have 3 games left. And then hours later... Chaos is... God, hours later is when the chaos ensues. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoy these. Let's go Big Blue.